Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be sharing with you my recipe for Bistec de Puerco Empanizado, or breaded pork steaks the Cuban way, my way. This is how we make them in our house, and you are welcome to season your pork steaks however your little heart desires. Today I'm going to be seasoning mine with some garlic salt and nothing else. As you can see, I will also be using seasoned breadcrumbs, so that's just going to bring more flavor to the steak, so there's no need to over season them with anything else. And as always, I will be listing all of the ingredients and their measurements in the description box below. Now, the pork steaks that I'm using today are called cubed pork steaks. That's how it's written on the package, and in Spanish, this is called Bistec de Puerco pasado por la maquina. These are the ones I like to use, but you can use any pork steaks that you have on hand. However, I found that the cubed steaks, for some reason, work the best for this recipe. So if you're like me and you give your steaks a rinse beforehand, just make sure that you go ahead and pat them dry with a paper towel. This is to ensure that our breading won't start to come off once we start frying it. Okay, so enough talking, let's go and get started. So I'm going to start by seasoning my pork steaks on both sides with some garlic salt. And the reason I mentioned that I love using this cubed pork steak is because I have yet to buy a package of these that has been tough. These always come out juicy, tender, and delicious. So now onto our breading. What I did was I set up two different bowls, one for breadcrumbs and one for the egg wash. Go ahead and use any shallow dish that you have on hand that will fit your steaks. Go ahead and crack your eggs into one bowl, and depending on how many steaks you're making, you're going to need either from 1 to 2 eggs. For my 3 steaks, which were pretty large, I needed 2 eggs. Go ahead and have a plate handy right next to you so that you can place your steaks once you're done breading them. So to bread them, just dip your steak into the egg wash on both sides. Make sure it's fully coated before putting it into the breadcrumbs. I go ahead and give my bowl a little shake just to help me coat the edges of the steak, and then I just use my hand to sprinkle it on top. I recommend using one hand for the egg wash and one hand for the breadcrumbs, because if not, you're going to have one very breaded hand. Now, some people like to use flour as well as the breadcrumbs just to get a crispier coating. Honestly, with these breadcrumbs, I have such a crispy coating on the outside that I don't find a need for it. But if you want to go ahead and use flour, egg wash, and breadcrumbs for a crispier chicken, comment below and let me know how that turned out, because I might have to give it a try. So just go ahead and repeat this process for all the steaks that you're using. You could even do this ahead of time to prep for dinner, and you can just save them on the plate, cover them with some cling wrap, and put them in the fridge until you're ready to fry them. This comes in really handy, especially for me, because I'm chasing around a toddler the entire day. So whenever I get a little moment in, I'll season my steaks, give them a breading, and just leave them in the fridge until I'm ready to fry them at dinner time. So this is pretty straightforward, but since I was making rice anyway, I thought, hey, why not just show them how I make my rice. Today I'll be using an electric rice cooker, and I will be using 1 cup of rice, which is more than enough for my husband, my son, and I. We're not huge rice eaters, but it's so delicious with this meal, we just had to make it. So the first thing I'm going to do is wash my rice, and I'm doing it just in the same pot. Just add some water, stir it around with your hands, rinse, just let out the water, and do this 2 times. Once your rice is clean, you're going to add in your water. The measurement for water is the amount of rice plus half. So if you're doing 1 cup of rice, you're going to add in 1.5 cups of water. 2 cups of rice, 2.5 cups of water. Then add in your olive oil, some garlic salt, give it a stir, put it on the rice cooker, top it with a lid, cook, and you're ready to go. Next, I'm adding some canola oil to a medium-sized frying pan, and I have my heat set to about a medium-high heat. Now, to test if my oil is ready, I just sprinkle in some breadcrumbs, and if it sizzles, I know I'm good to go. So I just add in my pork steak, And I'm going to let it cook for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side. If you see that your oil is too hot or it starts smoking or your pork steak is browning a little too quickly, go ahead and turn your heat down to medium because we do want to make sure that our pork steaks are cooked fully through so they're not raw once we cut them open. Go ahead and give it a flip once it's cooked for about 3 to 4 minutes, and you're going to do the same. You're going to cook it for about 3 to 4 minutes on the other side and then remove it from the oil and place it on a plate lined with some paper towel to catch your oil. Go ahead and repeat this step for all of your pork steaks, and like I said, keep an eye on your oil because at least for me, I had to turn the heat down to medium once I put in my third pork steak because my oil was way too hot. So I went ahead and saved some time and cooked up some black beans from a can in a small saucepan. I just seasoned them with a little bit of garlic salt, some extra virgin olive oil, gave it a quick stir until it warmed up, and I placed it on top of my white rice. And this is how it turned out, guys. My pork steak came out super golden brown, very juicy on the inside, very, very tender, so delicious. I went ahead and plated this with a side salad, a mound of white rice with black beans, and of course, a materva in the background. Like, guys, come on. Does it get any better than this? Does it? No, I don't think so. If you've never tried materva, it is my favorite soda, and I am not a soda drinker, so that says a lot. Once you finish watching this video, make sure you go and grab one and let me know how you liked it in the comments below. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all the support that you've given me during the last few days. Honestly, thank you. I am so appreciative. I am so beyond humbled for all the positive messages, the likes, the shares. Thank you, guys. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I recommend that you do because I have a lot more delicious recipes coming your way. I hope you guys all have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!